How you doing? I'm Dave Martone. I'm here to talk to you today about the amazing VOX VT100 modeling amplifier. So, I'm not going to get into all the bells and whistles and the Johnson rod flux capacitor and the 24-bit this and that. I'm going to tell you about the working man ideas inside of it, how it works, demonstrate some sounds for you, and kind of be off with it. So, to start with, it's 100 watts. That's powerful enough. You can blow away lots of people with that, you know, which is all right. On top of that, two 12-inch speakers. Boom! Gotta like it. Right inside here, if you actually took a peek, which we will, wow, there's a glowing 12AX7 tube in there! You gotta like that. That means there's tube power happening. So, and that's in the power amp section of this thing. And when we come take a peek behind the amp, we look at the rear end. Sorry, that was stupid. Anyway, we look at the rear end. We have an attenuation for the power going down from 1 watt to 1,000 million watts. I'm kidding. 100 watts. Okay? So, besides that, we have 22 different modeling amplifiers inside of there. We have built-in effects, the effects you need. You're not going to need this super flange from hell, blah, blah, blah. It's got the things you need. Phasers, choruses, tape delays, etc., the things that we need. As well as that, you can run the amplifier in 3 different modes. So I'll tell you about those modes in a little bit, but first off, I'm going to demonstrate a sound for you. So let me switch over to a different guitar, and I'll be right back for the first sound. Now, let's check out another tone we got going on inside this bad boy here. I'm going to go to more of a boutique type of sound, and still kind of a bit more gainy than the last sound, just a bit more bite on side of it. Hitting it soft, cleans it up nice. Let's play a bit of a blues tune for you here so you can hear this sound. Now, we're going to check out a sound, more of a tweed 4x10 idea. Now I have, speaking of some of the effects inside of here, I have a compressor going on here. It's going to make this no carry forever. But this video is supposed to be 5 minutes long, so we'll just stop it right there. Now, I have a bit of reverb going on, too. It's got some nice verb in this thing. So I'm going to get a little bit more of a country type of idea going on here. Let's check out a little bit of the country sounds from the VOX VT100. You gotta know some country licks. You know, you just have to know those things. So, now, you know, this brings me to the next point with VOX amplifiers. A lot of people think, okay, it should just do those kind of classic vintage sounds, and, you know, if it's too heavy, it's just not a VOX. You know what I say to that? It's time to change, people. It's time to change. We have a lot of cool new sounds happening inside this amp. I'm gonna push over here to get into the next mode. And by the way, what the heck am I pushing, by the way, you're probably saying? This, as you can see, this is the VOX VFS5. It's a foot switch to control what's going on inside the amp. Right now, I'm using the bank section inside the amp. If I bring you over here for a second, when we get back to that, if I push this bank button, this gives us 8 separate sounds that we can store inside of this whole situation. I'll talk to you about the manual mode in a second. So, back to the heavier type sounds. This is modeled after a VOX AC30 Brian May model. So we'll play a little bit of something for you to check this out. Yes, I feel us getting even heavier around the corner. I feel it. So I'm going to go into heavier mode over here. Notice you got to push the button heavier for it to be heavier. Wow, there's something heavy lurking in there. Let's talk about that for a second. So that's definitely not a VOX sound, but it is. So I'm going to go over the top of the amp here, and I'm going to push manual mode. Tell you a bit of what's going on here. This is where the amplifier functions just as a standard amplifier. So once again, I'm going to select my metal, more of a modern metal sound. I'm also going to go over to the effects section here and select something called pitch. Now, I'm going to go back to the foot pedal at this point in time and show you what's going on here in manual mode. If I hit channel 4, you can hear there's a bit of reverb there. Turns the reverb on and off. Now, channel 3 will turn the effect, which I have now is called the pitch, on and off. Now, channel 2 will scroll between the intervals of those pitches. Check it out. I'll keep it on the lowest one because, you know, that's pure metal, right? Now, what I'm going to do is drop tune to D. There's nothing like that drop D sound. I'll put a bit of verb back on, and I'll put that pitch back on. It's too much, it's too loud, the pitch, so I'm going to bring it down. There we go, just the right amount. We're going to do a bit of a lead sound right now. So I'm going to go back into my other bank, which is the bank mode setting on here, where I said before, we have the 8 settings that we have. And I'm going to dial in at this point in time my lead sound, which I'm using is a UK 90s style amplifier. Now, on the sound, I have, there's a tape delay echo that I have going on, as well as a bit of reverb. Let's wrap this up, shall we? Okay, the VOX VT100. 100 watts of pure power, manly going on there. We have 2x12-inch speakers going on side of here. We have 22 different amplifiers. We have 11 effects happening. We have 3 ways to run the amplifier, which is manual mode, bank mode, and preset mode. We have 66 preset patches, and they're controllable from the foot switch back here. And remember, you can run this thing at 1 watt or 100 watts. And the last thing is that VOX rocks! Yeah, that's it.